Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. General Hospital spoilers. Sonny's dangerous mission guard dog Jason's move sparks outrage. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, will search for Dex Heller, even Hofer, in upcoming episodes of GA. Despite his initial blame of Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, Sonny does recognize that Jason intervened to prevent a potential mistake. General Hospital spoilers. Sonny Corinthos could have been a lifer. Sonny should be grateful that he escaped a life sentence in prison by Jason's not allowing him to cross the line and beat Dex to death. However, he can't help but feel that Carly Spencer's, Laura Wright, interference prevented him from eliminating Dex in the Pine Barrens, which could have avoided all this mess. Despite that, Sonny needs to focus on moving forward, and that starts with his search for Dex. There's a tiny chance he plans to apologize for losing his temper that night. Sonny has many things to regret, realizing the fallout his actions had. He feels like he's lost all his support from his daughter, Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mansi. The paranoia spurred by the less than adequate doses of his bipolar medication, thanks to Valentin Cassavanine, James Patrick Stewart, won't allow Sonny to think with good sense. Geek spoilers. Sonny Corinthos still has to silence the traitors. Nonetheless, Sonny will stick to his guns about Dex's betrayal and might believe he should be sent away, likely permanently, still having to silence the traitors. Sonny could revisit one of his old tactics for handling Dex. For instance, Sonny might want to bring up how he spared Dex's life by asking him to leave town permanently. Even though Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, was the one who brought Dex back, they are no longer a couple, and he might not see any reason for Dex to live. It's not all tampered with meds responsible for Sonny's violent behavior. The violence and rage live inside him. The time he hung Dex on a meat hook in Pazzulo is an example. General Hospital spoilers. Guard dog Jason Morgan to the rescue again. Sonny will undoubtedly have his own motives for seeking out Dex and expressing his thoughts, but this situation could potentially escalate, similar to what happened at the Metro Court. Jason again will become aware of Sonny's intentions and worry Sonny intends to kill him. Since Jason promised Jocelyn to protect Dex, he'll go to great lengths to fulfill that promise. Gay spoilers hint that Jason will step up as Dex's guardian once more, much to Sonny's dismay. After Jason makes a daring move, Sonny will explode with anger. This may lead to Jason sending Dex away and confronting Sonny himself, or possibly reaching out to Anna Devon, Finola Hughes, to involve the police. At any rate, until Sonny is back on his full-strength meds and can be reasoned with, Jason and Dex remain in danger. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GA right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news and updates. The mid-morning sun cast a golden glow over Port Charles, but the warmth outside contrasted sharply with the tension inside General Hospital. Sonny Corinthos, the town's resident mob boss with a heart, stood in his penthouse, staring out at the skyline. He was about to embark on one of the most dangerous missions of his life, and he knew the risks were higher than ever. His thoughts were a whirlwind of strategy, anticipation, and worry. Sonny's dangerous mission was not just another mob deal or a territorial dispute, it was personal. An old enemy had resurfaced, threatening not only his empire, but also the safety of his family. He could almost hear the ghostly whisper of his late wife, Connie, reminding him of the darkness that lurks in their world. His decision to act now, and act decisively, was driven by a need to protect those he loved, including his estranged wife Carly, their children, and the extended family that had come to rely on his strength. As he turned away from the window, his mind settled on the one person who had always been by his side through thick and thin, Jason Morgan. Jason, his loyal enforcer and trusted friend, had been with him since the beginning. If Sonny was the head of the Corinthos organization, Jason was its heart, a heart that beat with unwavering loyalty and a readiness to spill blood if necessary. But Jason's latest move was about to spark outrage. even among those who had come to expect the unexpected from him. Jason had always been the ultimate protector, the guardian of Sonny's empire, often referred to as the guard dog of Port Charles. His steely demeanor and lethal skills had saved Sonny more times than either of them could count. But now, Jason was making a move that Sonny feared could change everything. He was planning to take over the mission himself, to become the primary target in this deadly game of cat and mouse. It was a plan that left Sonny conflicted. On one hand, he trusted Jason implicitly and knew that if anyone could handle this mission, it was him. On the other hand, he couldn't shake the feeling that Jason was walking into a trap, one that could cost him his life. Sonny knew that Jason's actions were driven by the same motivation that drove him, protecting their loved ones, but he couldn't help but feel a deep-seated unease. The news of Jason's decision spread quickly through their inner circle, and the reaction was swift and furious. Carly, never one to mince words, confronted Jason in the hospital's cafeteria, her eyes blazing with anger and fear. "Are you out of your mind?" she demanded, slamming her coffee cup down on the table. "This isn't just about you, Jason. It's about all of us." Jason's face remained impassive, his blue eyes cold and determined. "I know what I'm doing, Carly. This is the only way to ensure everyone's safety." Carly's voice softened, her anger giving way to desperation. "We need you, Jason. Sonny needs you. This mission, it could be a one-way ticket. What about Danny? What about Sam?" Jason's expression flickered for a moment at the mention of his son and his estranged wife, but he remained resolute. "I'll do whatever it takes to keep them safe, even if it means risking everything." Meanwhile, Sonny was preparing for his own role in the mission. He knew that his presence would be a beacon, drawing the enemy's attention and giving Jason the cover he needed. As he armed himself, the weight of the decision bore down on him. His thoughts drifted to his father, Mike, who had recently passed away after a long battle with Alzheimer's. Mike had always tried to steer Sonny away from the violent path he walked, but Sonny knew that his father would understand the choices he had to make to protect his family. As night fell, the tension in Port Charles reached a fever pitch. The docks, often a scene of illicit deals and clandestine meetings, were eerily quiet. Sonny and Jason moved through the shadows, their footsteps echoing off the water. They communicated in silence, their bond allowing them to operate with an efficiency that spoke of years of experience. The enemy, a ruthless cartel led by a man known only as El Diablo, had set a trap. Sonny and Jason knew it was coming, but they had no choice but to spring it. They moved with the precision of seasoned warriors, their senses heightened, ready for the ambush they knew was inevitable. The first shots rang out, shattering the stillness of the night. Sonny and Jason returned fire, their movements synchronized in a deadly dance. The firefight was brutal and intense, the air filled with the acrid smell of gunpowder and the sound of bullets whizzing past. Jason took point, his sharpshooting skills taking down enemies with lethal accuracy, while Sonny provided cover, his own weapon spitting fire with deadly intent. In the midst of the chaos, Jason spotted El Diablo. Time seemed to slow as he aimed, his finger tightening on the trigger. But in that moment, a shadow moved into his